Please welcome to the stage Kayode Ewumi, Thea Gajic. I had the pleasure of interviewing you 2 years ago, and you were sat. We weren't here; we were in a different venue, but with Daniel Kaluuya.
Yeah.
And Arnold Ocean.
Yes.
That was a fun day.
It was a good day. It was an exciting day.
And a lot has happened for you since then.
Yeah.
2 years.
A little bit. Yeah, 2 years.
Has happened, and it's really inspirational. So today we want to hear a lot about that. And Thea,
hi.
You are the first lady I've had on this stage. So
yeah.
we need to give her a massive round of applause.
Thank you.
Representing the ladies. Bringing all of her talent up onto this stage. I'm going to start with you, if that's okay.
Yes, please.
So your journey has been really innovative and really, it's been very different because you've taken a digital route, but you were kind of one of the first people to do it and do it really, really well. You know, you've been a very, very successful meme.
Yeah.
And you've done theatre.
Yes.
And you, a few years ago, described yourself as an actor, and you didn't really mention writer.
Yeah.
Whereas now, I've noticed that your whole spiel has changed. Now you really describe yourself in interviews that I've seen recently as a writer and a creator. And then you kind of say, but I like to act as well.
Yeah.
It's changed.
It has. I think I enjoy writing more than acting, definitely. Just because I like being by myself and you don't have to depend on anyone. So that's one part of it. But also I think I was acting from when I was a kid, at home, my cousin's house, wherever I was just acting. And I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. But I think it came to a point where I just wanted to make my own work, and I just enjoyed creating worlds and characters, and I had more interest in that than just going on set, waiting in your trailer for how long, doing this scene, doing this reverse shot, that reverse shot. And I was like, I kind of realized, I said to myself, oh, this is a bit boring. I was like, oh, this is not what I thought it was. But then writing it's a different ball game. But I mean, I'm blessed to do what I do, and I enjoy both of them. But I think writing is much more. It's the thing. It's my bread and butter.
The evolution has been that you've kind of discovered what you get more enjoyment out of.
Yeah.
In terms of recognition and the fame game, obviously people know who you are from, the documentary.
Who knows?
Yeah. So, has it been difficult for you, or a natural thing, to kind of almost step away a little bit in the last couple of years from being the meme and the well-known character that everyone comes up to on the streets, and then stepping back and going, I'm now going to be the writer, I'm going to take more of a back seat from the fame game?
I think this whole fame game thing, for me, it's there, but I always thought of myself as Kayode, Monday, Tuesday to Sunday, just Kayode. So I think anytime people saw me on the street, even prior to going into writing, I'll just talk to them normally. I didn't have any lisp. A lot of them were quite disappointed. They thought, they're like, where's your leather jacket? Where's your lisp? I said, I haven't got one. They're like, oh, so who's Chantel? I said, I don't know who Chantel is. Who's Jonathan from church? I have no idea who Jonathan from church. So I was quite like just myself. So I think they just got used to it. But a lot of people would ask, oh, bro, what's going on? Is it because Michael Dapper's here? Oh, bro, what's going on? Is it because you're not working anymore? Oh, bro, I heard you're a Christian now. Like, is it the church thing that they're pulling you away for getting? Jesus is black. He's black. And I'm like, okay, calm down. If you miss what, go on YouTube, watch it again. But I'm just writing stuff and creating stuff. And it was good to see Enterprice. I really enjoyed watching it again. And
so did I.
It was. Yeah, I think it's cool. So I think the fame thing, whatever. I just never really think about it. I just take buses, take trains. I just walk normally down the street, so nothing has really changed for me, to be honest.
So Hood documentary opened the door in terms of
the
BBC.
Yeah.
So how did you get from that body of work to then getting Enterprise commissioned? And and having that freedom?
So when Hood Doc was independent on YouTube, then he went to BBC Three, and I think we can all agree that on BBC Three the texture changed. You know, it wasn't the same as it was on YouTube, mainly because of time, and what we agreed was doing 6 5-minute shorts, and in those 6 5-minute shorts, we were encouraged to try and delve into RS's life, who's his love interest, what does he do and stuff. And I think that kind of made it, because normally you're watching a 22-minute clip of RS walking around the street doing nothing, and just talking to the camera, and there's no story, it's just like him was walking around. So after that, we did 6 5 minutes, and then we were going to write a 30-minute pilot, and then full series if they liked it, full 6 30-minute episodes. But after speaking to Terrell and stuff, I had enough. I mean, we wanted to take it off and then go on YouTube, but then go back on YouTube. But I think for me, I was just like, I've given it my all, and I wanted to move on, and I was like, I'm done.
Was it nice to have that control, that you were in charge of when to say no?
Yeah, I think it is nice, but of course I think it is difficult when other people are involved in it. Do you know what I mean? So it was just making that decision and being an individual, saying, what do you want? What's best for you? Do you still enjoy this? Because it was hard, you know, it was hard. RS is amazing. I loved RS from the bottom of my heart. I mean, opened so many doors. But I think for me, I just said to myself, am I now putting on this jacket for people or for myself? You know, and then once you start doing things for people, you lose yourself and you lose who you are, and then you just become a puppet. And I was like, I think no, because I came out at the right time. I think I came out at the right time. So after I did that, I was like, this is nice, this is enough. A lovely body of work. And then BBC still loved Terrell and I. And they were like, well, whatever you guys want to do as a collective, as individuals, please come. Anything you have, Shane, head commissioner of comedy there, like anything you have, let's do this. And then I had this thing called Enterprice in my locker, a small idea, and Phil, my producer's there, I hit up Phil, and it was like, yeah, we like it. Hit up BBC, yeah, we like it, write a 30-minute script, wrote it by myself, here's a pilot. Then that pilot came out last year with Daniel Ezra, then Daniel went off to America, who's doing really well now, big up to Daniel Ezra. And then Treve came along to an audition, and then we shot this full series, and the doors were open. A lot of producers wanted to meet, and a lot of people wanted to talk.
So you had a lot of creative freedom with this piece, right?
Yeah.
What do you think? Because you're new, I guess, in terms of a writer that's working with the BBC.
Yeah.
What do you think encouraged them to give you so much creative freedom with effectively, I don't know if your second thing, but obviously it's brand new to them because they didn't have the YouTube audience to go off of.
Yeah.
It's brand new. What gave you that creative control?
I think what gave me that creative control was the fact that with the direction they were encouraging us to go with Hood Doc when it came to BBC, you know, it just didn't work out as it did independently. It just didn't. So I think even a lot of networks are realizing that their talent know their audience. They know what works, they know what doesn't work, and now they're trusting, like Atlanta, for example. You know, Atlanta, one of the best things I've seen, because Donald Glover knows what works. He's come from Atlanta. He knows his audience, and I think they were like, you know what, Hood Doc is out. We really like that. Let's not mess this one up, and let's just let the guy do what he wants to do. And my producers protected me. That's why I love Fudge Park. They're always like, let him do what he wants to do. We trust him. He knows what he's doing. And then we made it
by good people.
By good people.
Yeah, we're going to come to you in a minute.
No, keep going.
So how did you develop it? You said it was an idea that you had in your locker.
Yeah.
How do you develop something? I'm sure a lot of people here that are writers and developing content want to know this.
Yeah.
How does it go from that moment in your mind where you're like, this is an idea and I like it, to where you're filming it? Like, how do you develop the concept, the script?
How do you develop it? I had the idea. I watched Atlanta. I was like, this is a simple narrative, because a lot of commissioners are just like, what's the story? What's the story? What's the ABC story? What's the ABC story? Atlanta's just about a guy who meets his cousin who goes viral. He's a dropout. You know, the guy, both of them are dropouts. One of them went to Harvard. I want to be a manager. I mean, follow these guys. Let's go on a lovely journey, and that was it. So I was like, I want to make a story about two young boys in South East London, Elephant and Castle, Peckham, that kind of area, who just set up a business and just trying to make it, and they both have their own struggles, and that was it. So when I had that idea, I just sat on it. I sit on things for a while. Like even when we did that thing we did when we were doing that physical thing. It was an idea.
Gorgeous.
And then we sat on it for like ages, and I just came up with a script, and you're like, okay, let's shoot it. So I just sit on things and I try not to think about it. Or I would encourage all of you guys to learn an instrument. Instruments are really interesting because it just helps your mind go somewhere else, and you learn how to improvise. Oh, this sounds nice. Oh, this is a chord. Oh, this is D and C, play it together. Oh, that's that. Oh, that's D diminished. And you just start doing all these crazy things, and your mind just starts to learn how. Because comedy is it's like music sometimes. For me personally, you know, I'm going deep now. It's like music.
Go there,
You just hear the beats, and when you're writing a script, you know what worked, that doesn't work. Like we were talking outside earlier, just sitting on the floor, just talking about. And I think I'm writing for BBC. That's not really working. And Thea was just like, oh, and all these suggestions. But you have to also speak about things to people who are not involved in it. So speak to your mum about a story.
You've literally just led into my next question really
Yeah.
beautifully, because you just said that you feel like something's not working, so you bounce the idea off of Thea.
Uh-huh.
Is that something both of you tend to do? Is there like a filter process where you go, right, let me test this out with my comfort blanket, my friends, my family, like whoever it may be, before you go, right, let me show this to them?
My person is Kyle. I'm not sure if you say it, but Kyle Bino Smith. He's my guy. One time I called him, was in Malia on the dance floor, and I was like, yo bro, he was like, I'm in a rave, fam, I can't be doing this right now. And sometimes I called him and he's, you know, out on the street. I called him and I just throw stuff at him, and he's like, that works, that doesn't work, that works, that doesn't work, and that's it. So it's good to have a friend who can understand your sense of like comedy or drama or your style. Do you know, not everyone understands your style, so you need to find someone that understands you, even with music, anything, understands your taste of music or your taste of anything it is. Someone has to understand you. Once you find that person, could be a postman, could be your mum, your dad, just start talking to them, bouncing. That's it.
Amazing. Right, Thea.
Thea.
Hi.
Again, thank you so much for being here. I want to know how you guys met and how you ended up working together, because the energy, the chemistry is great. You do amazing work together.
They're hoping that we were boyfriend and girlfriend.
I know, but
that's not it.
Our agent hoped that as well, but
yeah, but it's a lie.
It's a lie.
Yeah.
We met at a research and development session for a play. I don't know. Was it a play?
I don't know. It never got made.
I don't know. Well, it was at Southwark Playhouse in Elephant and Castle,
where I grew up.
And when was this? Like
2000 and probably like 14 or something. I don't know, 15.
A lot
14.
of
15.
2015,
I think.
And we ended up getting paired together, like to improvise something.
Yeah.
And then then after that we just like, let's link up and talk about acting.
But then I found you on Facebook, I think.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's Thea. Because everyone had. Did you go SFX or Christ the King?
SFX.
So I had friends from SFX,
Oh,
and I
yeah,
saw
yeah,
you mutual. I was like, that's that girl. I was like, oh. And then I was like, hi. I inboxed you, didn't I?
It sounds like the start of something different. It's been into the DMs.
And I was like, oh, but hi. I want to make some work.
We just did the improv, like we had to get pieces of paper, and we used to write stuff on them, and then like take it in turns to look at the pieces of paper, and then like, I don't know, just film our reactions to the words and say what the first thing came to our head.
In all honesty, I think the reason why I got along with this young lady here, because she had a hunger that I've never seen till date. You know, if you see Eli, all these films run, if you look at all her work, some of it, like, she'll call me saying I'm editing it myself, I'm doing the sound and stuff, sound guy was terrible. Up till date, I've never seen someone who has a hunger, who's professional, just wants to work, wants to make work, and just wants to, and I mean, is a creative, not like I want to go party or whatever, just enjoys the work. And I think that's why we just got along. So,
Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, up till date, never seen anyone hungry.
Thank you.
Good on you, kid.
So how would you say that your creative process it differs from this one here?
Do you know what? I had one of the best creative sessions I had was actually with you.
Come on, stop it now.
No, honestly. Don't worry, this isn't going to be a complimenting like the whole way down. When we did that thing that you're talking about, the
physical stuff.
The physical movement. If you haven't seen it, it's called What's Love? Yeah.
Yes.
And it's just me and him, and we're doing some cool storytelling stuff. Anyway.
It's on her website. It's really good.
You got a website?
Are you mad? Have you seen her We're going to get to that, don't worry.
Money is changing you.
And anyway, in order to get to that point, we had like a whole development session at some building in Brixton.
Yes.
And it was just us two like all day.
Liberty.
Yeah. And then Kay had all of these amazing like ways to get creativity out of you, and like this whole process, and it was really great.
Cool. Yeah, it was cool.
And so yeah, anyway, that was like one of my favorite creative sessions. And now I forgot the question.
It was how it was kind of a bit like that. What's your creative process?
Oh,
What's
okay.
your favourite one? But what's your kind of go-to for developing a script, an idea, character?
I always start with a conversation. Actually now, because I'm getting a bit more self-conscious about how I work, it's kind of changing a bit. But initially, yeah, I always just start with a conversation. So if I have like a vague idea of something, I always start with two people talking, and I just like make up a name first, even if it's not the name I stick with. And then as soon as you have a conversation, you have two characters, and then they're going somewhere. And someone told me this the other day that I hadn't noticed about my own work, is that all of my short films that I've made are like linear in the sense that they start and finish in the same space. So like there's none of them change locations at all, or they don't jump in time. They're all like within the time period of the film, which I didn't realize until this person said it to me.
Is that what's made you feel a little self-conscious?
No, not at all. But that just made me think about my creative process and why I'm able to start with a conversation, because it's gonna start and finish in the same space. So I don't have to think too much about the overall narrative arc, because I'm not jumping in time so much. So I know that conversation is going to influence the end of the film. So yeah.
Can we touch on, if you don't mind going there, with what's making you self-conscious in that way? Because I'm sure other people will relate to you going through that.
So now, because I guess it's just like initially I started making film because I was just frustrated as an actress. I didn't have an agent at the time, and I just wanted to make my own work. I just wanted to act. So I just started making stuff. And so with that, there was very little consequence in regards to like what people would think of it, because I just didn't care. I just wanted to act in something. And then when it took off in a way that I wasn't expecting, I started to get more self-conscious about, do I actually know what I'm doing as a director? I don't want to not respect the craft, because acting is my craft first and foremost, and I know entirely what I'm doing and everything else. But with writing and directing, I never trained in that way. So I started to get more self-conscious that way. And then when you work with people, like Kay was saying, so like this film was funded, like other people's opinions who are giving you money matter, and it makes you second guess like your formula a lot, which is like not why, but was probably one of the reasons why it changed when it went on BBC Three initially, because it's like they want to see the end product, but they don't believe in your formula. And it's like, I can't get here unless you let me do this.
So is your intention to stick with your formula, or are you still developing and changing it?
I mean, there's always growth and development, 100%. But I think the spark that people noticed in you from the beginning, you have to maintain. Because if you lose it, you become everyone else.
Come on.
So you have to like fight for that the whole time.
Yeah, she's going in.
Yeah. Right, so you said that you wanted to act and you were frustrated, so you started your first body of work so that you could showcase your acting.
Yes.
What was it like to write your first script?
I think I found it really challenging at first, because training as an actor, you're constantly around scripts and you're constantly dissecting them and analysing them, and you understand how good they have to be in order for you to like have this well-rounded character that comes out of them. So I was overthinking it a lot at first, and then I kind of just let go and started. So a friend of mine gave me the advice about the conversation, so then I let go and started doing that, just writing it that way. And I think with me and my films, they're always like deeply rooted in truth, and they're not
More truth, or just
just a truth, like a believable truth. Sometimes my truth, sometimes just truth. Yeah, someone's truth, always. So yeah.
I was going to ask what inspired you, but what inspires you in your pieces, because they're all quite deep, they all are thought-provoking.
Yeah.
So I was going to ask what your inspiration was when you took it from stories, friends, your own personal experience.
Yeah, all of them, really. Yeah.
So you, we've already said she's a hustler, right?
Hustler.
So you had a day job alongside making all of this incredible content up until quite recently, right?
I did, yeah.
Can we ask what that day job was?
I was working at Arsenal Football Club.
Come on.
Printing the shirts.
Guna.
Yeah.
And then you gave that up recently.
Yeah, I did. I left.
How hard was it to balance the day job and kind of doing this? I'm sure a lot of people who are upcoming actors, writers, are doing the same thing, and it could be tough.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was 0 hours, so that was a blessing, which is why I was there for so long, because I could just the more comfortable you get, the more you can take the piss. So I was just dropping shifts and this and that. But it's difficult for your mental a lot more than time-wise, I found, because you're really just standing there for 8 hours or whatever, and it gets to you sometimes. One time I just had to leave at 11:30. I was like,
AM.
Guys, yeah, AM.
Come on.
When I knew that 11:30 people were coming in to start their shift, I said, guys, I gotta go. Yeah, because sometimes it's just so hard on you, especially when you feel when you know your purpose is way greater than that. It's really hard to stay in that space. But the good thing about it was that lots of my scripts I wrote there on plain pieces of paper. So I would be at work when there was no customers, just writing on notes, on anything, any piece of paper I could find. So yeah, that was the good thing.
So what gave you the confidence to take the leap and go, I'm really going to do 0 hours right now?
I just, Enterprice.
You made a terrible joke.
It was though, to be honest.
Was it?
No, that was part of it, yeah. Okay. Because I was then stable enough. Do you get it?
Yeah, I get it.
Okay. I'm in Enterprise, by the way, if you guys are confused.
No worries.
But anyway, what gave me, it's okay, basically at Arsenal, because it was a 0 hour contract, every year you get 6 weeks break, you have to take it at one time. So they essentially end your contract and they pay you for the 6 weeks break. So you get 12% of what you've earned in the year. So yeah, and then, so that's when I left.
About to go and apply for a 0 hour job.
Yeah, I think they do it so they can get away with not giving you holiday pay, not giving you maternity leave, blah, 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 all of that stuff. Yeah, so I kind of just took that opportunity to leave. And I think I just felt ready, and I just felt because what happens is you stunt your own growth, because you get comfortable with earning £200 a week, whatever you're earning weekly in retail, and you're you end up not being open for opportunities that are coming to you, because you know that you're just staying comfortable. And what's £200 a week? You're not doing that. This is London, do you know what I mean? So you're just getting comfortable. You can get to work, you can maybe go out to the cinema or whatever, but that's it. And then as soon as I stopped, it's I've never been more financially stable, because you just instantly open yourself. It's the law of attraction, and everything, not everything, but you allow things to come to you that you weren't doing before.
So a little faith thrown in there.
Yeah.
Leap. So when you were working, and you just mentioned £200 a week, that's not in London going to help you create bodies of work based on finance. So how did you go about getting your original pieces made? Did you invest in your own camera? Did you team up with people? What was your process to kind of get things on screen?
Yeah, I mean, the money I put towards it was from Arsenal. And then it was just a collaborative process with people that wanted to make work, and people that trusted me and believed in me. And you just have to find your team that you're all willing to grow with, basically. Also, my DP's here, who shoots everything, and shot Eli, he's there. Erlan Kaladi.
That's great, by the way. Well done. Congratulations.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
How did you both find your team? Where did your teams come from?
So, Hood Doc, how I found Tara and I knew each other from year 5. So we lived around the same area, grew up together, same football team, same secondary school. He was into directing and writing. So we linked up and we started writing Hood Doc together. And then Ray, who shot Hood Doc, he was at my university, Coventry University. And we were in the same, like, we call it advantage module, like an extra curriculum kind of thing to add to your degree at the end. And Ray was someone that, he was my third one, the last one, my third year. He wasn't on my course. He did something like media something. Ray, he always came in late. Like, we just always walking in, like, well, go on, Kay. I was like, this guy high? I don't know what's happening. Like, is Ray okay? I was like, what's happening to this guy? And he wasn't doing too well. I was like, bro, you need your points to pass your degree. Like, bro, I don't want to be in COVID. Like, I was like, okay. And then he just randomly messaged me on Twitter when Tara and I were writing Hood Doc. I'm planning to put it out. He was like, bro, if you're doing anything, I've seen your vines. If you're doing anything, bro, let me know. And I was like, you want to do this thing called Hood Documentary? What do you think? Like, I'm down. And he used to live in Slough. So he used to come to Slough and shoot. We used to always go to his house and edit stuff. And that was how we just started doing that. But now Ray's doing his thing, Terrell's doing his thing, I'm doing my thing. So I just like I just like working alone and working with new people, just writing scripts in my house and grafting on. But that was a good time.
And what about you, Thea?
I met a lot of people that I work with now and who are like really good friends to me through a company called Latimer Group. They used to have monthly networking events, but they were super chill. And this is like years ago. And I just used to go every month, and I'm not really a big networker. I'm not like the person that goes up to everyone and talks to them in a room kind of thing. So eventually, after going there for so many times, you see the same faces. And then, I just built connections that way. So a lot of us met through Latimer, the company, and just became genuine friends before we even knew we would ever work together. Like, it was never a, like... forced motive kind of thing. Which is what I just love, like organic connections, and rather than like going up to someone and instantly saying like you want to work with them, like talk about something else. You know what I mean? Like, how do you guys connect? What else do you connect with? How much you get on? It's not just about the work. Advice. Yeah.
Right, I want to ask you another joint question, which is agents, around agents, because you've got a writing and an acting agent. Am I right?
Yes, please.
You do, yeah?
Yes, I do.
And you've got an acting agent.
I just signed to a writing and directing agent.
Hey! Woo!
Thank you.
Congratulations. I feel like we could do a big round of applause. That's a
thank you.
Well, that makes this question even more saucy. So, okay. Where was I going? Sorry, I just got really excited for you. Is it different working with an acting agent to working with a writing agent? And talk me through your process of getting an agent. Okay, there you go.
I got scouted when I was 19. I did a show at the Young Vic Theatre. I was doing a show there. This woman came to see me. Not to see me see the show, because her director was in the show. Her name was Sandra. Another woman called Axa was there. I finished the show. That was the summer of me going to my second year of university at Cov. The woman was like, oh, I think you're amazing, but I can't sign you because you're still studying. You want to finish studying, right? I was like, yes, I want to finish studying. She said, okay, I'll just put you up for stuff. You're not signed to me, I'll just put you up for stuff. And the Star Wars came along, the one that John Baker got. I went up for that, did terrible. What's an awful audition? Worst audition in my life. Continue going on. I emailed her, she would air me, no problem. Sent her again a message in third year. I was like, oh yeah, I nearly finished uni. Put me up for another job, didn't bag the job. She's continued to air me, no problem. Then towards the end of my degree, I was like, you know what? No, like, let me just do this Vine thing. I think I'm quite a decent. I'm funny. I'll send like my cousin Akeem, who's here, send him like Vines. He'll be like, oh, you are funny. My cousin, I'll tell him Vines all the time. My sisters, my family, they're, oh, you're funny. I'm like, all right, let me try to do this Vine thing. I'll do Vines. Started to get an audience. As I was leaving university, she put me up for another job called Benidorm. And I was in the last two to get the job, but I just finished my dissertation and I had one more show in uni, and I told my lecturer, sir, I think I'm going to leave uni to do Benidorm. And he said, this is your third and final year, like Benidorm will come and go. I said, sir, but this is Benidorm. It's like, like, what's Benidorm? Like, it's like, you've been here for 3 years. And my lecturer, Glenn, he sat me down to, Kay, you've got a gift and people will want to work with you to start offering you scripts, just stay in uni. And I was like, I even called my mum, I was like, Mum, I want to leave uni and do Benidorm. And she was like, Kayode, what are you doing? I was like, oh no, I want to leave uni. And bearing in mind that I went to uni to do journalism and media, and then I switched to do theatre and professional practice. I told my parents this is what I want to do, and they allowed me to do it. They're also a blessing. So for me to then leave, it's like, so you changed journalism to do theatre, we allowed you, and now you want to leave uni in your third and final year, 2 months away from getting your degree, you know, to do Benidorm. They said never. And I said, okay. I said, Sandra, I can't do it. Then she was like, okay, cool. By the way, have you received a contract here? Because she realized that now I can back work. And then she just went, and I was like, haha. And I signed with her. Then my writing agent came when Hood Doc happened. My agent was like, I don't deal with writing. You need a writing agent. Then we signed with Kazarotto and Ramsey. Then we started to meet producers, signed with them. And then that was that. And that's how I found my agents. And that's the story.
Yeah.
We have the same acting agent.
Did you give her the hookup?
Yeah, I told my agent, I said, watch this girl, she's good. My agent slept on her first time. I was like, this girl's good, you know. She was like, oh, yeah, she's got a nice look. That's what I always say about her. She's got a nice look. I said, okay, but look at her work. And then she was like, okay, cool. Then something came along again. And then I was like, you know what, yeah. Let me put this girl in Enterprise because she's sick. Because there's a role for her in Enterprise. I think Thea's amazing. Let me put in Enterprise. And I was like, oh yeah, Sandra, by the way, I got Enterprise. She's amazing. I was like, my friend Thea's in it, but no one's doing a contract. You know, she's in like 3 episodes. So what do we do? You know, and she's like, oh, she's in Enterprise. I was like, oh, and like, yeah, in 3 episodes. I mean, that's a lot of episodes, a lot of money, you know. And she was like, okay, let me give her a email fee or whatever. Then she got signed, and that was that.
No, but she did it like she did it. Thank you. She was like, no, she did my contract for the pilot.
Oh yeah, she was in a pilot.
Yeah,
as well.
It was only the pilot
Yeah.
first. She did my contract for the pilot, and then I wasn't signed. She was just sorting out my contract for me, so I didn't get bumped, whatever. Then anyway, I went back in to sign the contract, the BBC contract, or whatever it was. And I was just sitting in there, and she watched my showreel in front of me. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. She was like, oh, let's just look at your showreel. And I was just like, okay. And then, yeah, I think she just looked over. She said to Sammy, her assistant, yeah, she's like, oh, yeah, we'll put for you on the books. And I was just sitting there like, okay. And then that's what happened. And I didn't know if I got signed until I left. And then they were like, can you send us your passport? And then I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And then my writing agent just came recently. People, I just started getting emails, to be honest. Yeah. And then I didn't want to have a writing agent at first. I think I was just scared. And but yeah, now I felt ready. So then I had meetings, and then I made my decision.
Amazing, congratulations. Have you guys noticed any difference? Because obviously I know you spend a lot of time together, you talk a lot. Have you noticed any difference between being a male and female actor, writer in the industry?
I can't answer. I'm not a female. That makes sense.
No, but in terms of your conversations,
Our conversation. I don't think we talk about.
Has it cropped up at all?
Do you know? Surprisingly, I know. I don't think we talk about.
The reason I ask this question is because quite often in previous Your Cinema screenings, a lot of the ladies have raised their hand and asked questions like this. So I just wondered, having a male and female in the same kind of position on stage, if you could shed any light.
I think when I call you, we're probably talking about like, how's your mom?
Yeah.
Cause you vegetarian? Cause you don't eat meat, red meat. You know, we talk about chicken nuggets.
I can hear Shannon laughing because she knows I don't really eat meat.
When we talk about Anthony when we shot that thing at his house, that house, Jacob Banks.
Oh yeah.
They had nuggets. I don't think we talk about
life.
We don't really talk about
like,
we don't really
deeper
talk
stuff.
about food. Yeah, about commissions, about Eli.
Yeah.
I don't really think we talk about it. To be honest, I won't lie.
So as
How's your mum?
do you say how's your mum?
How's your mum? Yeah.
What piece of advice would you each give? I'll ask you about as a writer.
Yes.
What's the one piece of advice that you've received from somebody that you would pass on?
Write it and stop asking. I don't know what to write about. What do I do? Just write it. Just do it and write it. That's it. Just be active and do it. Stop being scared. I don't know what to write. Just write the thing and get it shot. Because everyone's scared now because it might not get views. That's what they care about now. They don't care about the content anymore, which is sad.
Do you feel? Yeah, I was going to say, do you feel quite sad about?
Yeah, that thing there. I could go on for ages, but I haven't got time. But that thing there really hurts me.
A 1-minute version.
It just hurts me. It's just sad that a lot of young people now want to do it quick. They see Hood Doc, RS, whatever, but they don't understand that I went to university and I've got a degree. I got a first in what I did because I enjoyed it and I worked hard at it. That I was in secondary school, I got an A in drama because I enjoyed it. That I went to the Young Vic Theatre, I joined National Youth, all these kind of things. They just see Chantel and they're like, yeah, I want to do Chantel. I'm going to start a YouTube channel or whatever. They don't understand. And they ask questions like, how much you get paid? And they don't want to ask questions about the craft. And that really annoys me. So when they're writing and saying, okay, I got this idea, yeah, gonna be like a Sharo story kind of thing. Do you think people gonna like it? I'm like, what's it about? Oh, just about a guy like he meets a girl. And why are you writing it? Just to get views in it because I want to get bigger and then do Hood Doc. I'm just like, you're lost. That's not what it's about. Like you've lost the plot.
Yeah,
your head is gone. I mean, like this is not what. I mean, like, I don't know, it's not what it's about. You want to make it fast and quick. And that thing there, my time, and that's why, we get along because he's someone that, views or whatever, just enjoys the work. And those are the kind of people I naturally gravitate towards, just enjoy the work. So that writing, just write it and stop caring about the views and all these other things. Write it because you enjoy it and put it out and continue putting stuff out. That's it.
Thank you. Thea, in terms of acting, what's the one piece of advice that you've received that you would like to pass on?
I think, is this a mammoth? No, not mammoth.
Who's it? Wasting time here, kid. They're whispering and that.
I've forgotten the protection.
Are you okay?
No.
Okay.
I've forgotten the protection. Why can't I speak? Practitioner's name now for some reason.
What does he do?
What's the repetition one called?
Meisner.
Yeah, thanks.
Someone's an actor here. Wow, proper things.
Thanks.
Meisner.
I think it's Meisner or Mammoth. Anyway, the quote is, like, acting is telling the truth in imaginary circumstances. And I think as long as you remember that, it's always the truth.
Yeah, it's not
always. And it's about the other person. It's never about yourself, ever. Like, right now, I'm not even conscious about how I'm coming across, do you know what I mean? Because I'm trying to give you guys information. And that's always what it's about when you're acting the other person. You listen to what they're saying and you give back to them. It's not about yourself. Yeah.
I think that's a really good note to wrap up on in terms of me asking my questions. And I'm sure I haven't covered them all, so I guess we'll start with our Q&A. So let's get those hands up and we'll get some mics around the audience for you to ask anything that you may want to ask. So who would like to go first? Over here.
Yeah, I was going to ask about Eli. That was a really sick short film.
Thanks.
You were saying earlier about how you feel like you write in real time.
Yeah.
Sort of like your shorts. How long? That was that 7 minutes? Or?
I think it's like 7:50 according to Kay. Yeah.
Yeah, I was really intrigued by the choice to do like really tight shots and like the whole thing was just like sort of close-ups. Like was that when you were writing that? Did you always envision for that to be like the way you were gonna shoot that? Like that felt very intimate. It felt like you were like a character in the short film.
Yeah, that's how like I always want things to feel. So I'm like a big fan of handheld, always, which Erlan loves, carrying the camera and stuff. Anyway, I just like to make you feel like you're in there and then you're experiencing it with them. Again, back to like the like hyper reality sense of truth, sense of being there, and also is like it's a very small flat. And it's like a very intense situation. So it kind of just added to the drama of all of that was going on.
Yeah, that was amazing work.
Thank you.
Can I ask Kayode something quickly about the process from it being a pilot to the first episode? Because obviously you reshot the whole thing and the story is completely different.
Yeah.
So how did you find that process in terms of...
It was amazing. Yeah. Shot the pilot. They liked the pilot. We had the read-through of the pilot. As people were leaving, my producer came to me and said, how did you find it? He's over there. He was like, how did you find it? I was like, it was cool. It was like, you're going to get the pilot. You're going to shoot it. I was like, cool. We shot the pilot, finished it, found out before I went to Bulgaria to shoot Action Team that we got the series. It was a cool process. It was just about balancing it with making sure I knew what I was writing, and I was sending it to people. I think Flo, I think she's here. I think I sent you a draft, didn't I? Ages ago. There's people that were directors, writers. I was like, does this make sense? Does this make sense? Because you're writing 4 episodes, not just 1 anymore, and it has to be a journey. So that was quite difficult, finding out the journey for each character. I just like telling jokes sometimes. Do you know what I mean? But it has to be a journey for the character. So yeah, it was a good process, great process.
Congrats on the first as well.
Thank you very much.
Made it.
Thank you. Yeah, we went to the same school. Arnold. It was a year above me. Life, eh?
Thank you. Hi, I'm Christos. Well done, both of you. That was amazing, both of them. I just want to ask Kayode, I don't know if this is for Thea as well, but
we'll see.
Because you're a Christian as well.
Yes, please.
How do you feel that you're like? I know that you bring your your Christianity, your faith into your work and everything like that. Like, how does the industry affect your choices as a Christian?
How does it affect? I think you just have to make choices and be honest with yourself. So I've made a decision that I won't kiss or swear in my work, you know. And I tell my producers that this is what I don't want to kiss or swear, and they respect it. I think you have to be honest from the jump, what you believe in and what you're about. Because I struggled with that at the beginning. I was a bit ashamed of what I believed in. I didn't really know what, you know. But when I realized, okay, this is what I believe in, I said to my agent, don't send me roles where there's nudity, where there's swearing, where there's kissing. I don't want to do it. I don't feel comfortable doing it, and I don't want to do it. She said, okay. I think where the conflict comes in and where the trouble comes in is when people start to make compromises for money. So you make a decision at the beginning, then you see the paycheck and it's like, oh, Jesus will understand. He will understand.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You know, and then when you do it, you can do more and do more, then you become confused. It's like, okay, why did I even do this thing? I thought this film was going to be amazing, but my scene even got cut out and I just had this sex scene with this woman and whatever. What do I believe in now? And people are going to see it and they're going to say, oh, you're a Christian, I'm going to get judged, and all these thoughts happen. But then you have to just make a decision. And of course, it does mean a cash loss or whatever. But I believe if I'm meant to act, if it's God's will, then opportunities will come, and they have come. People send me scripts and say, can you be in this? I'll take out the swearing in this, whatever. They compromise for you. So I think it only becomes an issue if you don't make a decision. If you're double-minded, you have to be single-minded and say, I've come into the industry as a Christian, I want to do this, I don't want to talk about this, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that, and stick with it. If you don't stick with it, then you're in big, big trouble.
Thank you very much.
No worries.
Hi to both of you. I enjoyed your films.
Thank you.
I wanted to find out if there's a unifying theme that goes through your work. Maybe if you can talk about your work, Thea, and then if you don't mind saying something about the
themes. I think I am most interested in telling stories about the people, like young people, and how we deal with the things that are often only portrayed by older people of a certain class. And I think it's very interesting to shed light on how particular communities deal with those same issues. So I focus on that, and I always try to tell or find new ways of telling global problems, and
I think one thing for me is showing people that the end is not bad. Do you know? You see an Enterprise set in Ellesbury Estate. There's no guns. There's no knives. You saw a documentary, RS running around. No guns, no knives. Do you know what I mean? I think especially with the stabbing and stuff happening now, people want to just shine a terrible light. Even when that girl Kitty was like, oh, she thought they were going to jail or whatever, they switched it up. They were like, they played on it. They weren't like, what are you talking about? You're racist? No, they just played on it. You know? So I'm trying to make people think there's ways of telling stories of the end without showing guns, knives or violence or whatever. Put a flip on it. That's what I'm trying to do. Show South East London. But I mean, that opening shot is my favourite shot because it shows the area of Ellesbury. You always see it on Channel 4 looking terrible. You see it on the bill looking terrible. Top Boy looking terrible. But now you see a lovely, beautiful opening shot, green, happy, nice and warm of the Ellesbury estate. You know, it looks nice. So my thing is always showing the area I grew up in, Aylesbury Estate, Elephant and Castle. It's not a bad place. Bad things happen, but I'm a product of it, and I'm here. So that's what I was trying to show. Make people think, you know, the end is not terrible. That's my thing.
So this is more to...
How are you? This is my second cousin, Shaya. Welcome. You can text me, but okay, go for it. He has my number, you know, he knows where my house is, but okay, Shaya, go on.
Just phone it.
Yeah. Chill, bro, man. Chill.
Okay.
But so when it came to you doing memes, you felt
please.
like, all right, it's time for you to move on. You done Hood Doc.
Yeah.
You felt it's time for you to move on. You're doing Enterprise. So do you sort of have an inkling in terms of what's next for you or where you want to go next
You know
after?
something we don't know. Tell me.
Do I have an inkling? I don't. I actually don't. I don't know. I always say will of God. That's what I always say. I don't know.
Next, like,
We might. I've got a meeting, and if the meeting goes well, who knows? Phil, we might get the season 2. We don't know. We might get season 2 of Enterprise. And apart from that, I have no idea what is coming my way. I'm writing a new thing for BBC Studios. That they have their own production company now. Just trying to write some new stuff. But to answer your question, cousin, I have no inkling, no idea what I will be doing next. If I do know, I'll just message you on WhatsApp. Thank you, Shaya.
down here for me.
My name's Caleb.
Caleb, how are you?
I'm good, you?
I'm fantastic.
This question's for both of you. What do you look for when you're casting?
I look for truth in performance. That's what I look for. Go for it. Oh, you truth as well?
Yeah.
Oh, that's okay. Finished. He looks for truth as well. No worries, Caleb. Don't know why you're doing that. Well, okay.
My name is Patrick Brown. Congratulations on your pilots. It was amazing. And the first episode, I wish you the best for the second season.
Thank you, sir.
My question is regarding what you said earlier about sharing this idea with your friends and your family and sort of just trying to get ideas about what works and what doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
Did it ever get to a point where you felt like certain ideas just conflicted with each other? And if so, how did you work to compromise to get the project that you wanted to see on screen?
My producer, Phil Gilbert, who's sitting there in the blue. He's amazing, a great producer who supports me, doesn't say this is not funny, whatever. He may not get the joke, but he believes that, okay, you know why it's funny? It's funny, you know, and he supports me and helps me with the story. So people like Eno Mafon, writer, Nida, director, Kayode, those 3 guys would always read scripts and stuff, but when I didn't want to send it to them, I just sent it to Phil, and Phil would just explain that this, that doesn't make sense. Jeremiah University, okay, but then how can you then say this or whatever? So my producer, Phil Gilbert, is the person that helps me understand my scripts better. Thank you. Thank you, Phil. Question at the back.
Hi, I'm T. I just wanted to ask T.
T, nice to meet you, T.
Nice to meet you too. How are you?
I'm fantastic.
I just wanted to ask, when you're working with people or thinking of working with people, which habits or qualities do you most admire or appreciate?
When I'm working with people or thinking of working with people, which habits do I admire or appreciate?
Or qualities?
Habits and qualities. Professionalism. Turn up to rehearsals on time. Send me things on time. If you're a young person and I see you on the street and you say to me, Kay, I want to write, I want to be a writer, and then I say, here's my email, send me your script, and you don't send it to me, and I said by Friday, you send it to me next week, Monday, or on Saturday, you're not serious. Because if you're serious, you send it to me on time. If you're a football manager, you give someone an opportunity to have a trial, and they come to the trial late, down. You could be the nicest person in the world, but down. You're not serious. How come you miss your bus on this day? Why can't it be any other day you miss your train? You know, why? So that's why I look for professionalism. That's it. You can be the best actor in the world, the best writer. If you're not professional, you don't work with me at all.
Yeah, the same, to be honest. Of course, no. This is why we get on.
Yeah, that's how we get on.
Yeah, professionalism, but also passion as well. Because, like we were talking about earlier about the whole views thing, like I really want to know why you're doing it. Like, why? Yeah, what's your intention? Why? Is it just, for views? Or like, are you actually interested? Have you done your work at home? Have you got all these books? Have you read? Have you put your mind to it? You're not just turning up and saying, oh, I'm seeing these lot have actor in their Instagram thing and I want to do it. Yeah. Like, yeah, man, be serious. Serious.
Be on time. Be on time.
Go ahead.
Hi,
Hi, Julia.
I just wanted to ask you, I think like a lot of people can relate
I can't hear you, my sister.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
I think a lot of people can relate to maybe trying to be creative and try to like follow your dream, but at the same time having to have a job. Yeah. So I know you kind of touched on it, but like, what motivated you to keep going, and like, what was that process like before you got signed and before everything happened? Like, how did you like keep going, and what was that like?
It's literally passion. Like, I can't explain when you're when you know you're an artist, it's like, it's a need. Like, you can't actually, nothing is gonna ever make you this happy that you feel when you're doing this and this fulfilled. So nothing else is gonna make sense to you. And so that in itself is like enough motivation, because it's to feed you, it's to feed your soul as much as you need to eat food. Do you know what I mean? It's that kind of level that is going to sustain your happiness for the rest of your life. So I think as long as you feel that and you follow that, then you will get there.
Thanks.
And again, my mindset at that time was very fast. It was like, it didn't fit in with where.
The actors' expectations have changed. I think Daniel's generation don't want to go to the RSC. They want to go to Hollywood.
It just means that it's for someone else and that yours is coming, so you just have to wait and find the beauty in that wait.